So Incas versus Vietnamese specifically. Yeah, Incas versus Vietnamese, they get a 100% win rate out of one match that they have played so far. So they have only faced each other once, going in favor of Incas. Anyway, there we go, guys. Welcome, everyone. I think we're probably going to be switching colors once again. We're going to be using red for the Viper, so it's a little bit easier to tell them apart in the minimap. And yeah, we can probably just try and fix the scoreboard real quick as well. Remove GL from both players. There you go. Yeah, we're just going to keep JorDan. So, what do we get here then? On the right-hand side, JorDan play with Incas is going to get one free llama upon starting the game, which he has already collected. He's going to have also a 15% stone discount on buildings, as well as villages affected by blacksmith upgrades for infantry units starting in the Castle Age. And then besides that, we also get for Incas 10 population support per house, as opposed to 5 population support. For the team bonus, on the other hand, he's got also twice as fast seeding farms. Meanwhile, the Viper, instead, he's going to get with Vietnamese free conscription. He does not pay wood for eco upgrades. He's going to have on top of that also 20% extra HP on archer units. And let's see, JorDan's going to be getting some goats over here. But most importantly, the Viper also knows the starting location of enemy TCs. And I think he was trying to lame these goats. Did JorDan realize and he's trying to get these back, or are those Viper's? I think those are Viper's goats, right? I think that, yeah, those are Viper's goats, because JorDan's got 4. He's got 2 that he's left to, you know, he's still left to discover. And then he's got these 2, so that's pretty good. JorDan's gonna be getting 2 sheep away from, or 2 goats away from the Viper. The Viper, on the other hand, has not tried to get lame going or anything. He's just gonna be playing more standard and scout his own resources. You know, last time around, JorDan said, hey, he started it because there was a lot of laming in the previous series from JorDan, but this time around he's not playing games, you know, and the Viper will realize about the missing goats eventually, I imagine. So yeah, we might see a lot of lame in this series as well in the future. We'll see. JorDan's taking these. So yeah, for the team bonus finally, Viper also gets access to the Imperial Skirmisher upgrade and the unit, of course. And let's take a look at JorDan's map generation over here. Starting with the blue player, then we get the main goal forward. He's got the main stone on the back, and then he's got both the secondary goals. One is going to be over to the right-hand side up north. The other one is underneath the scoreboard over here, around there somewhere. And then we have the secondary stone on the left-hand side. And 4 woodlands over here around the TC that he should be able to wall himself with. Given the layout of the house and the barracks over here, it seems to me quite clear that he's going to go either for walls like this towards the TC, right? Or he's just going to connect both 4 woodlands as well. But I think this is probably going to be a little bit easier to get away with. He will still be able to secure the gold, the stone over here, and also berries, which is very important. But no woodlines unless he went for walls like this, maybe. In that case, then, yeah, I guess he could potentially get away with it. If we take a look at the map generation from the Viper, on the other hand, he's very close to the corner of the map, so I kind of wonder already. He's going to be trying to wall towards the edge. Well, first off, he's got the mingle on the back, so that's already pretty good. And then he's got both secondary goals down south over here, both these very, very far away. If he realizes about the edge of the map over here, he could potentially go for walls like this, right, and something like this. And he will be able to secure 1, 2, 3 wool lines actually, plus the secondary stone on the back, the main gold on the back, and the berries. So I think this is probably what the Viper is going to be thinking about. He might be thinking of connecting like this as well. It's fine. As long as he can secure the back wool lines, it doesn't really matter if he connects the walls to this. But hey, JorDan's coming here. He's got 2 militias already. Is this a push again? I think it might have been. So he's coming here. He's got 2 militias to work with. Viper with map hacks, yeah. The Winchester will be hilarious. JorDan Winchester will be so good, man. Will be so good. But I think probably the ultimate. I don't know if validation is the right way for it, but probably the ultimate matchup that Winchester would be hoping for would be the Viper, maybe. But who knows? You know, there's a lot of money on the line. I don't know how much you're reputation of potentially beating the Viper is going to wait versus a potential quote-unquote easier matchup against JorDan and potentially a lot more money. Especially if you're in Russia, right? Like 10,000 extra dollars or whatever for the first place is going to get you a lot farther away in Russia compared to, you know, to Germany. So maybe there's going to be motivation for Winchester to root for JorDan over here, but we'll see. I mean, if JorDan gets past the Viper, is it really going to be an easy matchup for Winchester anyway? Maybe not. Well, if we see JorDan moving on to the grand final, then we have guaranteed a new champion for this tournament, regardless of who wins the final. I think Winchester lives in Moscow. Moscow is very expensive, similar to Germany. Oh, is that so? I actually had no idea. I thought he lived elsewhere. I thought he lived in some other city. It'd be crazy if Winchester went and won the whole tournament, beating the Viper in the finals. Well, it's already crazy that he's getting to the final, full stop. That he's taken on Mr. Yo, Hera, and Leary. Are you kidding me? He took on all the top 2 contenders on the Age of Empires 2 competitive scene, and that's already crazy. So it's going to be, it's been a crazy tournament regardless, right? So far, no one's been able to do much of anything in terms of damage. Lucho likes to start with the enemies, apparently. Well, he also usually loses game number 1, so maybe he's just going to give up on the Vietnamese for the first game. Which is kind of a shame. Once again, it's a civilization that actually has, you know, better than 50% win rate, but so is Incas. And also Incas, they have 100% win rate against Vietnamese specifically out of the one game that they have played against each other so far in this tournament. Out of the one time that this matchup has already occurred in the tournament in any case. Yep, no one can do any damage. Everybody's just going for the quick walls around resources. I do love how both players are putting a lot of pressure from very, very early, so it makes it significantly harder to get proper walls up. And this is going to be especially deadly against the Viper, since the Viper, if he had the time to get the walls up to the edge of the map, that would be so much better for him. Like, JorDan's not going to have that possibility. Or at the very least, it's going to be significantly harder for JorDan to try and wall to the edge. On the right-hand side, anyway. Nice quick wall. Oh, no way! He stepped on it! Good job! JorDan's gonna keep these militias alive. Alright. Yeah. There we go. It seems like JorDan's not gonna be able to do any damage anymore, and well, the Viper will be safe for the time being. It seems like it's just gonna be a race. It seems like it'll just be a race to the Castle Age. And who wins in a race to the Castle Age? Currently, the Viper's economy is looking stronger compared to JorDan. He's got more farmers, and JorDan's going for skirmishers with a much smaller amount of farmers. Then that's going to be a little bit more straining on his economy, while the Viper, on the other hand, will probably be getting enough resources to go out to the Castle Age significantly faster. Let's check. Good job. Yeah, it seems like the Viper is indeed going to connect to the edge of the map. Interestingly enough, it's actually trying to connect both these buildings as well, so it's going to be getting a lot of extra surface area to work with. And the good thing about this is that instead of going for the walls like this, like what I was suggesting, if he gets these walls up like this instead, then he's gonna be able to secure this one like significantly better, right? Because it's going to be much farther away from the walls. So it won't be susceptible to like crossbow, pressure, or towering or whatnot. Makes it also a little bit harder to defend, but just marginally anyway. More archers coming out. Yeah, good job. Like Viper's resources. Yeah, as expected, he should be able to go up significantly faster. His food economy has been much stronger since much earlier. He's got right now wheelbarrow as well. He might be 3 villages behind JorDan, but his economy is going to thank him for getting the upgrade anyway. Very soon, and JorDan on the other hand is trying to use the market right now. JorDan has been a master of market abuse. In all the series he has played, he's just been taking advantage of the market to go up to the castle age more often than not, I think. So yeah, surprisingly enough, Viper only has a head start of 24 seconds against JorDan to the castle age. That's not going to even be enough for one villager. Yeah, and I mean, JorDan's got 5 extra villages right now. This is pretty good. Yeah. And these are good first pick in my opinion. They are solid overall and don't really have any terrible matchups, while they aren't considered a top tier pick either. It's just amazing how, despite them not being considered a top tier pick, they actually have a much better win rate compared to some of the actual top tier civs, right? I think 60 something percent, 67% or something like that. And most of the top tier civilizations are actually not that high win rate. Like Chinese, they get only 50% win rate as well. Yeah. Nice pick. Good job from the Viper. Quick Wall's coming in over here for JorDan, but against archers, that won't really do much of anything. So JorDan's just playing by instinct over here, trying to get the Quick Walls up over here. But Viper steps on the house foundation. Just pushing the Viper out for the time being. But this is not ideal. He was so close from being completely walled up on the right hand side and securing this wood line. This is the wall that I was kind of hoping to see as well. Connecting to the edge of the map is going to allow him to secure this, as opposed to connecting both wood lines. But yeah, Viper's in the castle age already. JorDan's going to be in the castle age in just a few seconds. And then what do we see over here? The Viper's got Balkan Arrow coming in. He's got no Crossman upgrade coming up. Okay, there he goes. I was waiting for the resources. And these units will keep JorDan at bay from the walls anyway, until he can get the upgrades himself. And yeah, JorDan's gonna have to retreat with all the units he was hoping to do some damage forward, just so he can defend against this. If he can clean these units up, then he's gonna be able to eventually get the walls up, and then he's gonna be able to get back to wood over here safely. In the meanwhile, these units are exposed. These units or these villagers are not really gonna be able to take wood from here uncontested, because the crosses can potentially go back as well. I would like for the Viper to try and send these crosses over to the right hand side and regroup with the units he already has forward, so he can keep on putting pressure and prevents JorDan from getting the walls up. JorDan, however, though, he's got a good amount of skirmishers, but it's still taking some time for him to get to the elite skirmisher upgrade, sorry. So yeah, it seems like the Viper should still be in a pretty good spot over here. Let me take a look at Viper's military production over here. It's got only 2 archer ranges. You know, I remember before he said he wanted to win fast, so he went for like 4 archer ranges, multiple games in one series. This time around he's not quite going for it. Instead he's getting the second PC up, so he's gonna be playing a little bit for economy too. Good job, JorDan's finally gonna be able to clean this up, and that means he's finally gonna be able to seal the deal and actually seal the wall over here on the right hand side and secure the wood line. The problem though is you take a look at JorDan's villagers over here, the lumberjack economy that he's got, and they've been collecting wood for less than 50% of their lifetime, you know? It's actually not been the best. What is this? 44%. They've been idle or moving for more than 25% of the time. If we take a look at Viper's wood economy on the other hand, over here and over here, yeah, it's of course significantly better. Lifetime, much more efficient. Yeah, despite him going for the TC as well. And right now JorDan's going for the TC. That's going to chip away some wood cutting time from these villagers for the time being. And yeah, Viper's looking strong, guys. He's got 1 extra villager. He's got wheelbarrow right now. He's got Bo7 and heavy plow. While JorDan on the other hand is going to be playing catch up for villagers. Because now the Viper is getting a 3rd TC up as well. It's going to be a hidden villager and TC count compared to JorDan. So JorDan's going to be playing catch up. And well, the Viper with extra villagers should be able to hold on to the lead And of course, with a stronger economy because of the eco upgrades as well, he's gonna be in a much better spot. JorDan's suddenly now going for wheelbarrow, so yeah. Starting to look really good for the Viper. He's got a nice score lead for the time being, but the game is not over. Now the thing is, in JorDan's position, you're probably gonna be feeling a little bit demoralized over here because even though the game is not technically over, when the Viper has gotten a hold of a lead like this, it's really hard for you to catch up. JorDan's gonna have to go forward, send some units in, try to get some villager snipes, and that's just to catch up in villager count, assuming that, you know, he's able to keep both DCs working at all times. Meanwhile, the Viper, on the other hand, all he's got to do right now is chill. He's got vision of JorDan's entire base. He's got units over here down south. He's got units up north as well and over to the right-hand side as well. So he's got full vision. He's going to realize that JorDan's coming forward his way, and that's going to give him enough time to put some defense up or prepare. Meanwhile, JorDan, on the other hand, is kind of confined to his own base. He's going for ballistics. Doesn't really seem like he's got a clear plan of what to go for. With only 2 DCs, going to be falling behind the villager count. And... or rather, he's not going to be able to get ahead in villager count quite as much. And without strong military production, then he won't be able to push the Viper out. After all the damage that the Viper has done to JorDan's economy, this is definitely Viper's game to lose, so... yeah, I'm not too sure about JorDan's position currently. Villager going down. Made that 2 villagers down already. Viper's got ballistics. Yeah. This should be pretty good. Yeah, JorDan's just gonna be going for more skirmishers, which are going to be a little bit more taxing in his already smaller economy. Like, Viper's got 28 food workers, right? Compared to 16 from JorDan, going for double archery range skirmisher production over here is going to keep JorDan in the castle age for the time being. While the Viper is bringing a mangonel. He's been going for crossbows for the most part. The mangonel is going to take care of the skirmishers, and then he's probably going to be going out to the Imperial Age much sooner as well, so... not looking good for JorDan. What can he do? What is the way into winning this game for JorDan? In my opinion, it's going to be Eagle Warriors. But I think it might be a little bit too late. I think if he had considered going for Eagles earlier, he might have stood a better chance. But now sticking to Archers against Vietnamese seems a little bit risky. And yeah, I feel like Eagles, probably 1TC full production would have been the way to go. But of course, it's easy for me to say that after the game has already gotten to the castle age anyway. Anyway, you have to swap to the laptop, Alchemistry. Time to lurk. Take care. Okay. No problem. Have a good one, man. There he goes, going after the TC. That was a good shot against the skirmishers. He's going for another one. That's another good shot. Yeah, and over here he can push the villagers away from wood again. JorDan's going for a third TC in the middle of nowhere. If the Viper realizes about this TC, that can be so bad for JorDan. There's no defense for him whatsoever over there. We have 3 manas over here for the Viper as well. He gets the 1 from JorDan too, and that's just going to be GG. JorDan failed to defend with a single mana, so he knows he's on the back foot already, not going to be able to catch up. So Viper taking game number 1, and it did not seem like it was particularly close, honestly. The Viper just played so well. It was really clutch from him to bring the units over the right hand side and prevent the walls from coming up. He was able to get so much idle economy on JorDan's wool lines, these as well. So yeah, that was fantastic performance for the Viper. Taking a look at the achievements, then we have a 5-to-2 KD ratio for the Viper at the end of the game. For the economy, on the other hand, we also have about 2,000 extra resources for the Viper. For technology, we have faster fuel and castle age times for the Viper as well. And for society, well, a much stronger villager count for the Viper as well. So let's go back and wait. For game number 2, let's play the predictions out as well. Viper's looking in great form, to be honest. Hey, we had about 50-50 predictions over here. Nice. We're dominant game from the Viper? Yeah. Hard to point out mistakes he made, to be honest, if any. Yeah, I agree. He went for much better walls than I thought he was going to go for. Anyway, he ended up getting away with it. He had a very strong start. Let's cross Vietnamese out over here then, working out for TheViper, and Incas going down over there for JorDan. So Incas against Vietnamese had a 100% win rate. That's not the case anymore now. It's going to be 50%. For game number 2, I'm going to check to see if the game's there already. I think it is. So let's see if we can jump into it right away, ideally. We might have to wait through some spec delay though, of course. Seems like going for skirmers was a mistake from JorDan. If he want archers, he would have had a better castle time and maybe going eagles would have worked. Yeah, the thing also is, you know, going archers against Vietnamese specifically seems kind of sus. Going for eagles, I think, was probably the way to go for JorDan. That probably was going to be the play. And then TheViper added long swords, right? The JorDan could potentially have gone for slingers, of course. Or his own crossbows if he wanted to, but yeah, I really struggled to see what he was going to be able to get out of archers against Vietnamese. Well, anyway, game number 2 is going to start in about 45 seconds or so. So I think it's probably about time for me to open predictions for game number 2. Let's see who's going to be getting these bones. Start prediction. Prediction is who takes game number 2. You have TheViper, you have JorDan. 5 minutes once again to go for it. 25 seconds until the game starts. And let me take a look. The matchup over here is going to be Britons versus Khmer for TheViper and JorDan respectively. Britons and Khmer. Once again, win rate for Khmer, I think it was 37% or something. Win rate for Britons, it was higher actually, if I'm not mistaken. But for Britons against Khmer specifically, let's see if there's even a matchup. Nope, this is going to be the first instance of this matchup taking place. So let's go for it. Welcome everyone then to game number 2 in the series with JorDan playing as Khmer up north over here. To the right hand side is going to be getting 10% faster moving battle elephant line units. He also gets with Khmer the ability to garrison 5 villagers inside each house, as well as farmers that do not need mills or TCs to drop food on. We get also for them no ability requirements, and for the team bonus 1 extra range on scorpion weapons. Meanwhile, for TheViper, on the other hand, playing with Britons signifies 1 and 2 extra range on food archer units in the castle and Imperial Ages without taking into account skirmishers. It's also going to give him with Britons a 50% wood discount on TC starting in the castle age, as well as 25% faster working shepherds, and for the team bonus he gets 20% faster working archer ranges. Viper's just going for his strong archer civilizations, guys. And JorDan, well, what is he going to do? Hopefully it's not going to be the same, going for, you know, archers and skirmishers, because I just don't think that's going to work out against Britons, specifically against TheViper with Britons as well. Like, what do you even do about that? What's going on over here, by the way? Do we have a hawk frenzy? Seagull frenzy? Oh, this is actually a stork. Of course, why would you have seagulls in the desert, Nova? Come on. Oh boy. Huh. Gaia formations. Good stuff. Let's go and take a look at the map generation starting with JorDan. We get first off the main goal forward. He's got the secondary goal up north. Yeah, the secondary goal is down south over here. The main stern is on the right hand side, on the back for him, and then the secondary stern is on the left hand side. Now, he's got 4 wood lines around his base, but these are not going to be the best, especially those forward are occupied by water by quite a bit. So yeah, he could potentially get the walls from here to here, and then from here to the TC, I think. Ah man, this is not really the best map generation for JorDan at all. If he wants to connect to the forward wood line, that's going to be significantly trickier to pull off as well. And he doesn't really secure anything because the wood lines are not safe over here. And then if he goes for walls like this, he's only going to be securing a little bit of extra surface area, but no extra resources. So it's just harder for very little reward. Like, if you're going to get pushed away from this wood line anyway, I don't think you're gonna be able to collect from this one safely anyway. So yeah, map generation for JorDan, not the best to speak of at all. I bet if you go under those animals you hear Hotel California playing, I bet if you go under these animals, you're probably going to be rained on. Not water necessarily. Let's take a look at the Viper. Probably going to be going back home with some frosting. Let's take a look at Viper's map generation then. What do we get? He's got the Mingle on the back. So that's pretty good. He's got on the right hand side secondary gold. He's got another secondary gold on the left hand side forward. Berries are forward too. Okay, so the map generation over here, stones are very far away to the sides. Map generation over here is not going to be good for anyone, honestly. If the Viper gets the walls up like from here to here or here to here, he doesn't really secure much of anything, right? I guess getting the walls like this though would still allow him. I mean, he does have a wood line down here in the corner, so he could potentially secure this wood line, right? If he goes for the walls like this. And I guess he would still be able to collect from here fairly safely. So yeah, I guess Viper's map generation is still significantly better compared to JorDan, but it's not the best for anyone. The maps are similarly good or bad each time, so it makes it fair. Yeah. That's pretty good for KOTD. Village coming up already. JorDan's going up on 20 population, while the Viper's going up on 19. So Viper will be going for archers by the looks of it. Is he going to though? Wait a moment. He's not making a switch to gold just yet, and he's going for the barracks. Is he gonna try to play scouts against Kamer? What is JorDan gonna do? Well, JorDan's gotta go for scouts, right? Wait a moment, no way. Is JorDan just going to go for the archer range and go for skirmishers just because he's expecting the Viper to go for archers and then the Viper goes for scouts and he pre-counters JorDan's play? I'm not really sure. I mean, JorDan knows about the gold miners right now, so he will be expecting archers, right? But the Viper is making a switch. If the Viper was not making a switch, then JorDan probably would have realized about the potential scouts. But now with the switch over here, I think the Viper's probably going to be considering going for archers once again. Okay, never mind. I thought it was some 4D chess kind of stuff, but no. Really good job from JorDan as well, preventing the Viper from pushing the zebra. And archer range is coming up over here. As the Viper's already in the village, JorDan's going to bail because, you know, the scout's not going to be quite as strong. And JorDan's making a switch to gold right now as well, so he might very well be going for archers himself too. As a matter of fact, he's playing with the scout right now and he's going for the archer range. Yep, that's pretty interesting. There you are. Scout opening so weak, no one going for it. We have seen some people go for scouts. I'm thinking mostly about Leary. In the series against Tato, we have seen him go for scouts a few times, but it's been predominantly Minotaurs or militias and archers for sure, yeah. It's been definitely the norm. So is the Viper following the norm? He is, yes. And so is JorDan. He's going for a blacksmith right now as well. This is pretty interesting. If JorDan ends up walling to the edge of the map, then he does end up securing some woodlands over here, which is going to be pretty nice. It's just the left-hand side that he's still very much open, by the way. And this, I don't know how smart that is against Britons, man. I feel like he's just going to end up deleting the mining camp over there. In any case, JorDan's got some vision though. Viper's archer range. He knows that the units have not gone forward, or at the very least he knows that there are units inside. Yeah, and there we go. Viper's coming out. So far, pretty good for ball players. Viper's getting a little bit more idle TC time. Just a little bit more idle TC time compared to JorDan. But not that much, honestly. Good job. By the way, guys, I have a question. This is not related to the game at all, but I think some of you might be able to help me out with this. Maybe some native English speaker. What do you call the team attires that JorDan usually wears whenever he plays the game? Is that a jersey because it's esports, or is that just a t-shirt? Because I'm pretty sure a jersey is like a sports t-shirt, right? Or something like that. Yeah. But I just noticed that JorDan usually plays while wearing the Game Legion attires. Viper not so much. Okay, good defense for JorDan so far. E-shirt. Oh man. There we go, good defense for JorDan so far. Okay, Viper does push him away from berries, but it's fine, JorDan's already making a switch to farms. It's going to be alright for the time being. He's been able to defend over here just fine. A little bit of idle T9 for both players, honestly. A little bit higher for JorDan, for the Viper, sorry, but not too bad for anyone in particular. Seems like worker efficiency is a little bit higher for the Viper as well, but very, very small difference. Yeah, JorDan's finally going to completely seal himself up on the right-hand side. So it's only up north that he's still very much open. Around here. Once he closes himself up over here, he should be pretty safe. You know, the Viper on the other hand is going for walls in front of his base. He's just going for houses over here and whatnot. And then he's going to make a small arena for himself. He only needs to wall the right-hand side. And yeah, once again, he can secure this for sure. And he could potentially secure this depending on where he goes for the walls over here from the right-hand side. There we go. Just going to be a race to the castle edge right now. JorDan's looking a little bit stronger. This time around, it seems like Khmer farmers will give him the edge that the Viper had previous game by going for wheelbarrow earlier. And now the Viper's going for wheelbarrow as well. There's something that JorDan can't afford to delay because of the way that the farmers work for Khmer, but of course he does need to go for wheelbarrow eventually. It's just not strictly necessary right away. And he should be on his way to the castle edge very soon. It's getting a little bit of idle TC time, but it's fine. It's just for the cause. This is gonna be coming up. Oh man, that's a little bit too much idle TC time, but he is on his way to the castle edge. And little did he know, the Viper already had a comparable amount of idle TC time, so it's not too bad. JorDan is looking a lot better game number 2 compared to game number 1, that's for sure. Scout coming forward from JorDan. Again, he's trying to get some scouting information. He doesn't know anything about the back of Viper's base. He doesn't know if this is walled. He knows the left-hand side should be walled very soon if he does not react to it. If he does not do something to prevent the Viper from getting away with it. But then, down south, he doesn't know about the walls coming up. Necessarily, anyway. Good job.
Ready.
There you go.
Mandatum ready.
Yeah, that's pretty good still. There we go. Castle Edge should be here for JorDan significantly faster. The Viper is significantly behind himself by a minute and 25 seconds already. So almost a minute and a half. So JorDan should have enough time to go for a lead skirmisher, Bodkin arrow, before the Viper even gets to the Castle Edge himself. So there we go. A lead skirmisher and Bodkin arrow is coming in. If JorDan can take this, then he might still have a significant amount of units to go forward with and do some good damage with. JorDan needs to go forward, man. Do not get distracted by a small amount of units from the Viper. There we go. He's coming forward. Viper was doing a really good job trying to distract those skirmishers and buy himself some more time over here, but JorDan's not baiting the bite.
Bad.
Wait, what?
No Bob Rania.
He's not biting the bait. Baiting the bite? That sounds so backwards.
Bad.
Yeah, he's not
Jay.
biting the bait. He's coming forward right away. Yeah, baiting the bite. English practice, by the way, every day. Jeez. There we go. It's coming in.
No Bob Rania.
Good job now, JorDan. Now the Viper should be able to hold on over here with the second TC. JorDan cannot do too much over here, and with the Viper's defensive Siege Workshop as well, he should be able to hold on just fine. Third TC is coming up over here. Meanwhile, JorDan's got the second TC up north, in the middle of nowhere. It's still very much open over here. And no third TC coming up just yet. He does not have enough wood to go for it. Both players were going heavily into archer units. Viper's 50% wood discount on TC is going to come in quite clutch. Yeah, saving the day for sure.
Yay. No Bob Rania. No Bob Rania.
What is JorDan's next step going to be? Well, I mean, he's got more villages right now, but he's missing wheelbarrow, so Viper should be able to catch up by the time JorDan goes for wheelbarrow. Not to mention the third TC. Viper can keep production of all three TCs. It's gonna be catching up regardless. So JorDan could potentially try and take advantage of his stronger economy with the farmers to go up to the Imperial Age faster and try to make a play over there. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what he's gonna be able to do. If he just plays passive, I feel like Britons are going to be so much better later on. It really depends on the stage, of course. Once we get to the Imperial Age and the early and mid Imp, as long as you still have access to gold, I feel like, you know, Britons can be deadly. Because of the Arbalesters, the Werewolf Trebuchets. But once gold runs out, of course, and Khmer are going to be coming out on top because of the Hussar upgrade. Yeah, we'll see.
No Bob Rania. Ready.
You know, technically in the Imperial Age, if you get access to gold, Khmer are still going to have Siege Ram, for instance, which they can definitely use to get a push going against Britons for sure. But I'm not really sure if that's going to be enough though. Depends if Viper can lock down the Hussar rates. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. It's going to be different timing. In the very late game, once you are out of gold, I'm liking Khmer because of the Hussar. Bloodlines and Hussar, right? While Britons are only going to get like cavalry without bloodlines. But as you get access to gold, then Britons are definitely a force to be reckoned with.
No Bob Rania. Mandatum. Ready.
We'll see. Heavy plows over here for the Viper. JorDan's got heavy plow and he's got Bo7. Does not have wheelbarrow just yet. It's probably about time for him to go for it.
No Bob Rania. Bad.
Good job. Yeah, that's a good shot. JorDan's formation was still pretty good though. I don't think he took quite as many losses. Yeah. Viper cannot do too much over here. It's got more military units and the siege weapon over here as well is pretty good, but JorDan should be able to defend himself just fine. So now it's going to be a race to Imp by the looks of it. I mean, the Viper's not going for crosses anymore. JorDan's going for a few extra skirmishers, but he's still prioritizing villager production as well. He's got all 3 TCs queued up. Yeah, at this point, both players are trying to prioritize the economy. And then just go for some military on the side. Let's see. Wow, that's pretty good actually for JorDan. What happened to the Viper over there? He was not paying attention, managed to get only 1 skirmisher down. There we go. It seems like the skirmishers will be enough to take the Mano down anyway. They might. It's just being careful not to take a poor engagement over there.
Mandatum.
Good job. 4TC coming up for the Viper right now as well. Yeah, I'm very, very passive right now. I think JorDan needs to try and go up to Imp before the Viper and try to make a play before the Viper can make, you know, can make it to the Imperial Age himself and he gets extra range. He gets access to ARP Lester and whatnot. I think that's going to be significantly harder for JorDan to hold on against. Oh, the Mountain going down right away! Just in time, the Viper was about to start repairing it. There you go. I think, okay, let's see. Yeah, JorDan started to look a little bit stronger. This is what I wanted to see from the Bull player. He's gonna be on his way to the Imperial Age very soon. There you are. Scale Bard and Armor coming in for the Viper right now. Let's see. Good shot. Viper going for cap might be his downfall. Yeah, it's going to keep him in the castle age for the time being. JorDan's already on his way up. If Viper was paying attention to the score, he might have realized JorDan's going up, which makes this kind of puzzling, because if he wanted to go for cavalry while he knows the JorDan's on his way to the Imperial Age, he would need to go for a third stable and just try to get the spam going so that he can punish JorDan. But, okay, that was... Oh, actually, let's go back. It seems like there was a juicy shot over here. But yeah, with only 2 stables, it doesn't seem like the Viper is aware JorDan's going up, and that's just going to prevent him from going up himself, and that was a good shot. Well played. Let's keep on going. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Yeah. JorDan should be able to hold on over here just fine. Upper knows JorDan's going in for sure now. Yeah, at this point he realizes he's going up to the Imperial Age himself as well, so he was able to juggle his economy to click up, but we have still a significant head start for JorDan over here. Now the problem is JorDan doesn't really have anything to push with in the Imperial Age. Or is he going to go for Bracer chemistry for skirmishers? I was kind of hoping he was preparing like a ram push, you know, see trams maybe, go for knights, some mangonels. Only scale bar and armor coming out right now, so only +1/+1 for JorDan as he hits the Imperial Age. That's like severely under upgraded units. And he's only now starting to go for some scouts. So without a massive units over here to push with, faster Imperial Age is not really going to signify anything for JorDan. While the Viper on the other hand is getting 2 castles up in front of his base, which should suffice for him to defend himself just fine. And he's going to be in the Imperial Age in about 1 minute and 15 seconds. And once again, that could be deadly as Britons with Arbalisters, extra range as well. Trebuchets can be super hard to stop. What we will need though is maybe something against potential rams. There's one thing that I still think is going to be a weak point for Britons. Yeah, the castles are pretty good. The castle positions over here are amazing. He's got the hill on the left hand side one, and then he's got the hill on the right hand side one as well. So overall, good job. There we go. Takes the Magnet down. He's got chemistry right now, Bracer. So he's coming forward. Chain, bar, and armor. It seems like JorDan's gonna start going for full-on Hazard production. On the right-hand side, though, he's still struggling against Knights. He's probably going to win, not losing a few extra vills over here. Which shouldn't be happening at this stage already, but it's not going to be too bad. He still has a decent amount of units to play with, a decent amount of villagers, even though Viper's economy is significantly larger. So what do we see? Viper's going for light cover himself. Now, this is a position in which JorDan could potentially shine. If he goes for Hazard, if he gets play bar and armor over here as well, with Bloodlines plus the Hazard upgrade, his units are going to be significantly stronger compared to Viper's. Good job, JorDan's trying to collect the relics. So far, he's got one. He's got one inside his base as well, so he's going to be able to secure 3 if he can get away with this one as well, so that's pretty good. Let's see if he knows about this one. Yeah, he knows about this one, so he could potentially secure 4. And the 5th one is inside Viper's base. So this could be pretty good for the late game for JorDan. If he can secure 4 relics, that means it's going to be, you know, getting access to gold. Much more so than the Viper in the later stages after gold starts running out. Natural gold starts running out. And you have to start banking on tourism gold. People paying to see the relics. Or divine gold? Falling from the heavens, who knows? $50C on the way for the Viper? Wow. Yeah, this one's not coming up. There we go, we have Hazard right now for JorDan. Good job, Hazard and Skirmishers. This is a decent meat shield already. Still feel like Rams would probably still be worth it going for against Viper currently. But yeah, both players are getting to 200 population, so let's see. Mana shot's coming up over there. It seems like the manas are going to go down, and the Viper is losing the manas for sure. He's also soaking a lot of damage over there. Okay, he did not lose this mana, but he did soak a lot of damage. Now these Arbalistas have been taking a lot of losses to the Skirmishers. So yeah, that's actually pretty good. We see more Hazard coming in. Meanwhile, JorDan's 4 Hazard are going to start raiding around Viper. Wow, good position for JorDan. He's got all of a sudden a 10 population lead over the Viper. He realizes about the TC coming up over here. He should be able to deny this one for sure. He's got the Hazard about to clean out the light cavalry from the Viper, so he's going to be going after this one next. It's about time for JorDan to start thinking about left-hand side stables, right? And he's got 4. So he's going to be going for left-hand side raids as well. Just as the Viper is coming in, though, himself. Is JorDan going to realize about this? He's still very much open in the same place he's been open the entire game. If he walled himself up completely, he would be in a much better position to keep the raids going against the Viper without being exposed himself. But yeah, let's see. Left hand side. Good pressure. And the cast is taking so long to get the Hazards down. Mobility over here is key. Bloodlines absolutely is instrumental for JorDan and Viper. Viper's gonna keep on relying on Arbalistas alone. No pikemen whatsoever, no halberdier switch at all. And JorDan, you know, has been able to catch up in villager count right now. So he should be in a pretty good spot. Viper's still gonna keep on going for more Arbalistas by the looks of it. There's no way he'll be able to keep up with light cavalry production compared to the Hazard production from JorDan, given that JorDan's got 70 or close to 70 farmers compared to the Viper and only 30. Especially against Khmer farmers, which are so strong. So yeah, it feels like the Viper needs to react over here soon or perish, because JorDan has got 70 farmers right now. He's got 8 stable production, and he's got so many Hazard just coming in. Hot stress and Arbalistas. I do agree. Yeah. Well, Viper's getting Yeoman right now, so that's going to be 1 extra range on these guys, right? So that's going to be 11 already. He is going for Trebuchets. If he goes for Trebuchets, I would definitely like for him to go for Warwolf. But yeah, right now I think probably it's a little bit more... Like the Halberdier I think is probably going to be a little bit more of a pressing matter. Maybe not. You know, with like already over here alone, he might have enough of a meat shield for the Arbalisters to do work from the back. So maybe he doesn't need our Halberdier at all. Yeah, as long as he's got a meat shield for the Arbalesters to work out of, I think it's fine. But over there, unfortunately, unit control for the Viper was not the best. He ended up leaving the Arbalesters very, very forward. Yeah, that's the way. Yeah, that's the way the Viper is going to play this one. Just light cavalry for meat shield, and the Arbalesters are going to suffice from the back. Good job. Yeah. Pike castles. We'll see Lombos. We might. He was going for those, but he bailed from it. We're just going to keep on going for Arbalesters. Now he's going for Warwolf instead. This is really interesting. You certainly would be expecting JorDan with a Hussar push over here to do well. But the Arbalesters from the Viper are just so deadly. And light cavalry are just enough to prevent the Hussar from getting to the Arbalesters, which is what really he needs right now. So it's fine. It's fine. The Viper is going to be alright over here. He's actually getting the push going. All players getting close to 200 population again. Good job. What does Warwolf provide the Viper since like JorDan switched away from skirms? Well, you can still use it for defense, I guess. But yeah, without skirms then it's not really going to be that good. Unless he gets the push going himself, then Warwolf's not really going to provide him with much of anything. I guess he could use it for defense against Mangonels maybe? Well, JorDan's going for Cherishas himself, so if we do end up on a trade war over here, Viper's Cherishas are going to be 100% accurate as opposed to 15%, right? Yeah, there's also the fact that Viper's been spending a lot of gold in the Arbalesters while JorDan's just been going for... Wait, what? Ballista Elephant? Okay. Interesting. You know, this is actually not bad. It's like a mobile Scorpion, much tankier though. Okay. JorDan's definitely caught my attention right now. I even forgot what I was in the middle of saying. So Viper's going for Siege Engineers right now. That's going to give him extra range, right? Oh yeah, I was saying that if we do end up finding ourselves in a trade war, of course, it's going to be much better for the Viper. But let's see. Nice quick walls over here for the Viper as well. It's got villages at hand to potentially repair the trebuchets, you know, and to keep the gates up. We'll see. It's illegal to use Ballista Elephants versus the Viper. He's going for it. He's got 3 queued up, but he just does not have enough population space. Actually, that's a lot of elephants. No way! He's using the gold. He's backed so far to get a much stronger unit on the back. This is so good. He needs to come forward with the Hussar and get the meat shield rolling, because without the meat shield, the Ballista Elephants are going to be just a very expensive loss. But take a look at that. The Viper is going to get shredded over here by Ballista. Alright. Cherish is coming forward from JorDan as well. He's going to be taking the castles down. This is really, really interesting. Now, the problem for JorDan, though, is that these are very expensive units, so... Okay, take the monk, take the monk, take the monk. He's going for the monk, good job. And he doesn't really have a meat shield over here anymore, so he's got to be really careful. He cannot just go forward with these units as tanky as they are, because it's just going to be very expensive losses. He needs to keep these units protecting the trebuchets and keep the meat shield forward, preventing the units from getting completely caught up by like cavalry like Viper's doing right now. And that's how he maximizes the value. Like this, JorDan ends up just losing a lot of ballista over there, which are so expensive. For castle on the left hand side from JorDan with a single villager, of course. And let's see, more Hussar coming out. Well played. Problem for JorDan right now is that the majority of these units are either on the way or, you know, in the queue. It does not have the units over here that he needs. Yeah, notice that the long distance, the Ballista Elephants and the Hussar are going to reinforce his forward army. Meanwhile, the Viper on the other hand already has the units here. So he was able to hold on, and the castle is going to stay up for the time being. JorDan's unit micro over there has not been the best, unfortunately. And it feels to me like he's probably chewing through his gold a little bit too fast. Definitely faster than he needed to. And I'm still wondering where's the relic that he's still not collecting. It's over here in the back, and he knows about it. Oh, he does know about it. Okay. That's probably why he did not go for it. Elite Ballista Elephants, guys! When is the last time that you saw this? Elite Ballista Elephant. Not only in a competitive match, but in a tournament semi-final nonetheless. Certainly seems though like JorDan's gonna be scrapping the bottom of the barrel very soon for gold, because if he keeps some production like this and he does not protect the units, yeah, gold situation is not going to be particularly promising in a few minutes. JorDan needs to win to assert Elephant superiority. To assert Elephant dominance. Well, yeah. Just being very careful over here, does not want to take an unfavorable engagement. But he does have a good amount of units though, so let's see. There we go. Yeah, it's... I don't know, it doesn't feel too confident from JorDan, honestly. Viper's the one getting the push going right now. After JorDan took an awful amount of losses earlier, I think he's a lot more conscious about his elephants right now. He's getting a good amount of resources once again, though, going back up to 2,000 gold. So that's pretty good. Meanwhile, the Viper's got half of the year coming out. Let's see. Okay. Viper should be able to take the castle down over here. It's got 2 trebuchets, but no, JorDan's bringing some villages over to repair, so... Yeah, if JorDan cannot get the push going over here on the left, on the right-hand side, then Viper's eventually going to end up taking this one, or just costing JorDan a lot of resources. As once he runs out of stone, he's probably gonna have to start buying it to keep the castle up, so... Yeah, Viper has done, I think, in my opinion, the more cost-effective choices this game. He's made the more cost-effective choices anyway. Viper gets raided, he loses a lot of food units. He's gonna be in trouble. Yeah, JorDan's just not feeling too confident though. He's trying to go for more of a methodical push over here, trying to get the castles down one at a time. More of a systematic kind of approach, as opposed to just sending the units forward, right? Well, let's see. Really well played from the Viper. Notice how he's baiting these Ballista Elephants, so the Halberdier are closing the gap right now, going straight past the Hussar and straight into the Ballista. That was really good unit control for the Viper. He might have ended up losing all the light cavalry, but he's doing a lot of damage to the Ballista Elephant, and even if JorDan still has a good amount of units left, it's not been worth losing the Ballista Elephants for only light cavalry and Hussar, and Halberdier rather. There we go. JorDan gonna send Viper on a vacation to Tuscany. Oh man, what a beautiful place. I remember the movie I saw about it. If it's the same place that I'm thinking about. Italy? Or am I thinking of somebody, some other place? Anyway. Just going down, good job. On the right hand side, as long as the Viper cannot push past JorDan, then this left hand side push is going to be pretty good. So yeah. Wow, Hovercraft! Thank you so much for the sub. Welcome again. That's a resub actually coming in for 4 months already. Welcome. No message coming in with the sub. Well, very much appreciated still, of course, and thank you so much for the prolonged support. You know, 4 months is not a small amount of time. I'm hoping you're enjoying the content, man. And well, this is certainly the most important weekend of KOTD, so we're going to have even stronger series coming up, I assume. So yeah, grandest video for JorDan? For sure. It's been pretty difficult to push past the Viper's defenses. But now the Vipers finally ran out of gold, meanwhile JorDan's got much more map control. So he still can keep on collecting gold. Where is JorDan though collecting gold from? Let's take a look. So he's got 1 gold over here that's about to run out, right? It's only 150. And then he's got some extra gold over here. I think we still have a good amount. Yeah, he's got over 1,000 gold. Sorry, I muted myself on accident. So yeah, he's probably gonna be able to go out to like 3,000 gold, I think, from what he's got left. And then yeah, if he can finally collect the relic over here, that'd be so good. But he still has not found out about it. Match 1 was this long? No. Are you talking about the first series of the day, or are you talking about the first game in this series? The first game was not this long, not at all. I'm certainly hoping that we are going to get more long games in the rest of the series, because I just want this to go for as long as possible. But yeah, yeah, this was not. This is significantly longer than game number 1 for sure. All right, JorDan can start pushing over here on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, he was unable to do much of anything. So yeah, he's trying to get the raids going though. To be fair, he's sending all the Hazard forward. Did Winchester already play his set? Nana, yes, Winchester already played his set, and I highly encourage anyone who has not seen a Winchester versus Lewy to go back and watch the VOD before continuing with the live stream, because you might get spoiled, and it was a pretty good series. I'm not going to give any more information other than that. Wow, Dayhel! Hey, welcome back! Long time no see. How's it going? Hope everything's going alright. Let's see, more Ballista over here. I don't know, but I just don't feel like JorDan is taking really good care of these units. And yeah, sure, he's got a lot of gold right now, but that's not going to last forever. After he runs out of these 4 tiles, 3 tiles left right now even. Yeah, 40... Oh, come on, man. Yeah, he's taking awful trades over here. He doesn't have any more gold left. This is the end of it. So I think he's got like 300 left, and then he's gonna be relying on relics. Do you play some AoE 4? Yes, I did. I like Age of Empires 4 quite a bit as well. But my main focus is Age of Empires 2 for the time being, of course, with all the tournaments taking place and whatnot. But I'm gonna be switching focus to Age of Empires 4 a little bit more after KOTD is over. Most likely on YouTube. Most likely on YouTube. I already found out. Now I want to watch it more. Well, yeah, it was a pretty good series. I had to watch after this. Well, there might be a risk of getting spoiled then, especially if you stick around until the series is over. We're probably going to be disclosing who the winner of the previous series was, but regardless, I'm going to try to remember not to spoil it. Job. By the way, switching focus a little bit more to Age of Empires 4 doesn't mean stopping Age of Empires 2, not by a long shot. Age of Empires 2 is still going to be the main game I cover, because it's what I'm currently making a living out of. Until that changes, then I don't think I'm going to make a full switch to Age of Empires 4 or anything like that, so don't worry about it. Good job. Yeah, and once again, the Ballista Elephants are going down. JorDan's been super negligent with his units, and these are not cheap units to go for. Now, he still has a good amount of gold. What I would really like to see JorDan go for right now is that with all the gold he's got, go for like 3-4 siege workshops and just start spamming the crap out of siege ramps. If he can go for it, you know, siege workshops, start spamming siege ramps, there's not really a whole lot Viper's gonna be able to do. He's relying mostly on Arbalisters to keep ground over here on the right hand side. And then JorDan's got skirmishers, which will be able to take care of Arbalisters and Halberdier as well. So yeah, JorDan has better bank, but until he takes advantage of it, I'm liking Viper's position better because he's been able to defend just fine. Let's see. Alright, JorDan's coming forward, he's gonna try to get more raids going. Meanwhile, the Viper's pushing out on the right hand side. Population starting to crumble right now for JorDan. But he's got 2,000 gold. It just feels to me like he's not really sure what to go for. Because he should be able to keep on producing units right now. Like he's got enough farmers to keep on spamming Hazard, and he's got enough gold to go for rounds as well, but he's just not been going for it whatsoever. Oh, Viper took the castle on the left as well. Yeah, that's pretty good for him for sure. Meanwhile, okay, Jordan's trying to get the raids going. Jordan trying to balance his economy a little bit. But yeah, it's not looking the best right now. Still less than 170 population. That should not be the case right now, honestly, for Jordan. My opinion, he should be pop capped right now, or locked to 200 population in any case. There we go, nice raids from the Viper as well. Yeah, and we see the Halberdier coming forward, the light cavalry over here. Honestly, I was not expecting this to be the case in a late game situation. I was expecting Jordan's civilization to be significantly better, especially when he's got so much gold available to play with, right? But he's going down to 130 population, and all of a sudden the game is starting to look very much over for Jordan. As he's struggling to keep up production of units. Yeah, he just does not have an answer to the Halberdier. Obviously, the Ballista Elephants are not going to work out without a meat shield over here, and he's been struggling to produce Hazard, so... Yeah, that's just going to be GG. Wow, that's actually remarkable. I thought this was going to go in favor of Jordan if we got to this stage of the game. Especially after collecting 4 relics, but it was just not the case. Well played. Let's go and take a look at the achievements. So, for military, we have a better than 4-3 KD for the Viper. We have 103 to 81 army high as well for the Viper and Jordan respectively. For economy, on the other hand, we have a stronger economy for Jordan, collecting about 7,000, actually collecting about 9,000 extra resources compared to the Viper, and this is just remarkable. Viper was able to take this one, so well played to him. Jordan going up both Castle and Imperial Ages faster as well. Overall, Villager max over here a little bit higher for the Viper, but at the end of the game, 94 and 93 for the Viper. And Jordan respectively, it's just that military was significantly lower for Jordan at the end, 40 compared to 101. Well played. Well, let's go back. And let's pay the bettings. Jordan is struggling against Viper, guys. Viper's looking very... Let's see if Jordan can clutch it up, man, because Viper's looking very dominant. There you go. Alright, guys. Game's coming up. Giddy up, because we have the Viper playing Bulgarians. This is, if the spreadsheet from Mr. Nerdfox is correct, this is going to be the first time we see Bulgarians in the tournament. We saw it being drafted a few times, but we never saw it being played. So this is going to be the first time. We're going to see what the Viper can do with it. Meanwhile, Jordan, on the other hand, has got one of the strongest civilizations. He's got the Indians. And let's see, well, for that, he's going to be getting 10, 15, 20, 25% cheaper villagers depending on the age, right? On top of that, it's going to have also 1 and 2 extra pierce armor on stable units in the Castle and Imperial Ages. And for the team bonus, we also get 4 bonus damage from Camel Rider units against buildings. The Viper, playing with Bulgarians on the other hand, will get a 50% stone discount on TCs, a 50% food discount on blacksmith and siege workshop upgrades, as well as free militia line upgrades. So that's going to be man at arms, lone swords, and 200 swordsmen for free, which is as high as they can get. And finally, also Bulgarians will get access to Krepos. Now for the team bonus, we have for Bulgarians 80% faster working blacksmiths, which is pretty good. And let's go and take a look at the map generation. Score, yeah, thank you. Starting with Jordan then, we're gonna have the main goal forward for him. Right here, right? We have the secondary goal forward, the secondary goal on the back over here. Meanwhile, we have the main stone on the left-hand side and the secondary stone on the right-hand side, right? It's going to be fairly easy for Jordan to wall himself up if he just goes for walls over here because it's so close to the corner. He just goes for walls like this, from here to here and this. It's going to be able to secure 2 wall lines. It's going to be able to secure also the gold over here on the back, which is pretty good. The stone over here as well, which is pretty good. Potentially the berries as well, so it's not a awful map generation for JorDan, to be fair. And taking a look at Viper's map generation on the other hand, we have also Viper's very close to the corner. No way, man. Come on, get out of here. Viper's going for the map hacks once again. What is this map generation? He might have the goal kind of exposed, right? And both secondary goals a little bit, you know, further away compared to JorDan, or more exposed. But he's so close to the corner of the map. Like, something like this, and this secures so much for the Viper. And it's not, you know, it's not that pricey either. Secures the wool line over here on the back. Secures a lot of surface area to work with, as well as the main stone on the back, secondary stones outside. And then he would be able to secure also both goals over here as well. So that's pretty good for the Viper. And honestly, I would probably even prefer for him to go for walls like this. Connect the wool lines like this, so that he can secure a good chunk of this wool line as well. Right? So yeah. Not really a whole lot of action just yet. I think both Rhinos are already down. Yeah, both Rhinos are already down, so... Viper's not going to get lamed at all, and JorDan's going after the second Rhino, so yeah, it's unlikely we're going to see any laming going on over here. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a whole lot of action early on. Viper is the first one to go for a prush. The pre-mill drush. But it's still significantly late. Like, he's going for the mill so late, right? I don't think this is the prush that you are probably expecting to see. This is a very late one. Jones getting the walls up. Yeah, and no barracks up for him, so it's just going to be using the walls to defend himself against militias. Meanwhile, he's going up already to the fuel age on 20 population, and he needs to go for a house. Otherwise, it's going to be house. But it's going up on 20 population. It's going to be for scouts by the looks of it. He's not making a switch to gold whatsoever, so yeah, it's going to be scouts. Meanwhile, the Viper on the other hand is just got the militia's coming out over here, and it's going to take significantly longer to get to the fuel age himself, but he's going to be going up on a stronger economy somewhat. Good job from JorDan as well. Quick wall over here, really well done. Oh, he even got the villagers in between the wood and the lumber camp. Okay. Those villagers ain't going back home to have a rest anytime soon. You know, when you're trapped between the wood and the lumber camp, you're gonna have to work your butt off. You're gonna have to work your butt off to get back home. Barracks coming out for JorDan right now as well. Yeah. Oh, Viper sending villagers forward, but JorDan knows. JorDan, what is this from the Viper? Minotaur's Trush? It certainly seems like it. Well, I mean, Bulgarians do benefit from collecting stone because they get access to crepos, right? So later on in the game, if the Viper gets a good amount of stone and he goes up to the castle age, he's gonna be able to start popping crepos around, but for the time being, it's just going to be towers. It's pretty interesting. Where is he going to go for first? He's going to go right after the berries, yes. Nice quick walls over here from JorDan just to try and prevent the Viper from getting to the berries, actually. And the Viper's first tower is not really going to be close enough to the berries to push the villagers away from JorDan, but JorDan's already reacted over here and he's going for a counter tower. So I think it should be fine. If he does not start going for stone though, then this could be pretty good for the Viper if he can get some extra towers up elsewhere. There we go. Viper's roaming around, is gonna go for another tower right next to the goal. Now this time around, JorDan's gonna get pushed away from here because he does not have enough stone to go for another tower. So yeah, he shouldn't have taken this one down though. He's got how many? 4 villagers over here. So yeah, the tower's going down, and the Viper's not protecting this whatsoever. So it's not too bad. Hey Iron Chef, I saw you here earlier. How are you doing? Hope everything's going alright. I saw you here while we were taking a look at a highlight of one of the players, I think. Or was it an interview? I'm not really sure. But yeah. That's a pretty good tower, but yeah, JorDan can't just go back. Well played. Let's see. Should be able to take on the spearman? No, he's just in the scout. That's pretty good for JorDan. He's able to hold on for the time being. You gotta keep in mind, guys, all the idle time these villagers have gotten by just going forward and dropping towers, right? So Viper has diverted 5 villagers over here, actually 4 for the most part. Plus the stone miners, that's going to be 7 villagers. He's diverted 7 villagers towards trashing, so these have not been collecting resources. Meanwhile, JorDan, on the other hand, has kept on collecting resources all the time. Good job. Okay. Yeah, and the Viper cannot get another tower up. So it's I don't think it's too bad for JorDan. Once again, I think his economy is significantly stronger anyway. He's been collecting the zebra over here too. He's run out of berries, you know. Being unable to deny the berries is like really bad for the Viper. But JorDan puts his hands off to run into this guy. Well, he was going to run into him eventually, right? Assuming that the Viper was going to get to the final anyway. JorDan eventually was going to, like, he was going to keep on facing increasingly harder and harder opponents anyway. But now he's doing a really good job. Game number 3 is looking significantly better as he's taking a villager down already. The Viper calls it GG! That's the first time Bulgarians get used in the tournament, and that's going to be for a loss. So JorDan's getting the first point in the series. Let's go and take a look at the achievements then. For military, we have a very nice KD for JorDan of better than 72. For army high, on the other hand, he's got also 10 to 8 compared to the Viper. And for economy, a little bit stronger economy for the Viper, which I'm going to be honest, I find kind of surprising. If we take a look at technology, on the other hand, he's got also a faster fuelage time. And yeah, he was able to defend masterfully against the trash, so... Alright, I'm sorry, I'm back. It seems like game number 4 is already here, so we're just going to jump into it right away. Hopefully. Damn, they're wasting no time. Did I take too long? Let's see. Hopefully not. But here it comes, guys. Game number 4 is coming up. It's gonna be Byzantines versus Burgundians, actually. So let's get rid of this. Let's go back here. There we go. And let's get into the game, shall we? So, welcome everyone then to game number 4 between JorDan and the Viper for the semifinal. We have JorDan playing with Burgundians, and we have the Viper playing with Byzantines. Now, let me take a look at the stats real quick over here, the sim matchup chart, to see what we get. For Byzantines versus Burgundians, they have played 2 times, and it's been a 50% win rate, so... From the 2 times that we have seen Byzantines versus Burgundians, it's been one win for each. Alright? So talking about the civilizations themselves, starting with JorDan's civilization, Burgundians are going to get access to eco upgrades 1 each earlier for a 50% food discount. Besides that, we also get for Burgundians, let's see, we are going to have a 50% discount on stable upgrades, as well as access to the Cavalier upgrade in the Castle Age. And on top of that, he also gets 25% additional attack on gunpowder units. So that's the final attack that you would usually deal against your opponent, multiplied by 1.25, right? So that's also going to take into account like bonus damage. It's overall pretty good. For the team bonus, on the other hand, they also get food from relics collected, not just gold, and at the same rate. While the Viper, on the other hand, with Byzantines, is going to get 10, 20, 30, 40% extra HP on buildings in the Dark Feudal Castle and Imperial Age. And then on top of that, we also have for Byzantines 25% cheaper Skirm, Spear, and Camel Rider units, as well as access to Town Watch and Town Patrol for free. He gets also a 33% discount to go up to the Imperial Age, and for the team bonus, monks heal units 100% faster compared to other civilizations. Now, this is very interesting. I remember when Burgundians came out at first, and you know, going for just full Flemish Revolution plays used to be what the players would go for. Byzantines was actually one of the strongest civilizations to hold on against it. Although that was usually the case on more closed maps, so I'm not really sure that's going to be the case over here. In any case, these days, Burgundians don't really play for Flemish Revolution from the get-go. Usually you just play a standard game and then Flemish Revolution gets there eventually. But yeah, it's still worth noting, of course. We have a defensive civilization style over here for Byzantines, so that's pretty good. Yeah, good job by JorDan to keep the hill. Yeah, the Viper was able to keep on pushing the Ostrich as well. That was pretty good. Anyway. Oh, Viper, what was he doing? He's trying to block the villager over here, but yeah, there's no way the Lion's gonna take the villager on its own, right? Yeah, anyway, let's take a look at the map generation. Starting with JorDan then, he's got the main goal forward. Let's zoom out a little bit more because of the greedy walls he's going for. Let's get the main goal forward. We have the secondary goal up north. We have the secondary goal down south, or rather to the right-hand side in the back, which is pretty good. Besides this, we also have the main stone forward and the secondary stone forward, so this is not the best, for sure, but he should be able to secure this like that, going for walls towards the DC. Unless he wanted to secure the goal, in which case he's gonna have to go for something like this, right? If he does end up going for these walls, he ends up potentially securing this goal, which will be pretty good. On top of that, we could potentially see the berry secured and the secondary goal secured, as well as the wool line over here, which is pretty good. And if we take a look at the map generation from the Viper, on the other hand, it's got a very wallable map once again, with the main goal forward though, but then he's got the main stone on the back, secondary goal on the left hand side, secondary goal on the right hand side, and the other secondary stone is going to be forward. He just goes for walls from here to here, connects the wood lines, and then maybe from here to the TC. That's probably going to be enough for him to protect himself. Although he wouldn't really be able to secure any wood lines though, to be fair. Anyway, hey Luis, as well. I hope you guys are doing alright. Do you keep the soy milk in the bathroom? Yes. Where else would you keep it, in the fridge? Do you think I'm some kind of monster? Let me get some, by the way. Oh yeah. Do you guys find the gulping sound annoying, like the or not? Because I know some people, whenever they drink stuff, you look like you can hear it very audibly. And I know it's annoying for some people. I was going to do it as a joke, but I don't know, maybe some people are just going to get disgusted by it. You can't hear really. Oh yeah, well, I didn't make it, but I guess that's probably more for an ASMR kind of stream. Let's see. I hate when streamers eat on stream. Oh yeah, I I try not to make that too apparent whenever I have breakfast. I try to leave something on during the break. Are you saying like on camera? Because not one of these have a bit of mic awareness. Oh, right. Okay. Well, if I have some type of awareness for my stream, it's usually the mic. Except when I accidentally mute myself, but I usually always mute myself for sneezing and chewing, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't like it either. Good job. Viper gets trade over there. Yeah, and it seems like JorDan's getting away with the walls. He's already completely walled himself up on the right-hand side. And up north over here is completely walled himself up as well. We have a tree over here also, connecting to the edge of the map. So JorDan's been able to secure himself pretty well. The Viper, on the other hand, he's going for wheelbarrow right now. And he's got fletching coming up too. Archer range on the way for JorDan. This seems to be like more of a reactive archer range, you know, like he was not really he was kind of hoping he was going to be able to just play for the castle age. He was not really expecting to have to defend himself, but now he's gone for it anyway. And yeah, I think it should be fine. Viper is going for more archers right now as well, so JorDan just goes for 1 or 2, you know, maybe more like 3 or 4 skirmishers. He should be able to hold on over here indefinitely, and then hopefully he's going to be able to go up to the castle age, but Viper's putting a lot of pressure, man, and he should be able to break through over here, but he's going to choose another tile because of the house foundations. Alright. Yeah, the Viper had men at arms over here or something. I guess the house foundations wouldn't have pushed him around, but yeah, with only Pierce units over here, he cannot really do too much against the foundation. Good job. And there we go. JorDan's got fletching, he's got skirmishers, and he should be able to defend against the Viper just fine. Well played. JorDan's skirmisher, or actually spearmen, actually roaming around, getting some scouting information. Alright. Seems like Viper's gonna be the first one to go up to the castle age anyway, though. Talk about market abuse, though. There we go. Meanwhile, JorDan's getting the market up himself. He's gonna try to go up as well. It's interesting because the Viper, he sold 100 stone. He's gonna be thinking of going for a second TC regardless. I'm wondering if JorDan's gonna sell both, you know, 200 stone and just try to rush. Just try to rush the castle age. He's not going for it right now. Could potentially sell the wood, I guess. Yeah. He's selling the wood, now he's gonna be on his way up. Good job. Alright, castle age is on the way for both players. The Viper does have a minute and 11-second lead though, compared to JorDan. Meanwhile, it seems like Viper's gonna be sending a villager forward already to try and get a siege workshop up. Yeah. Do I have the siege workshop artwork, by the way? No, I don't. I need to fix the annotations. There we go. It's no problem. It's fine. We've made do without annotations for like, what, 2 years or something before I actually implemented them, so it's gonna be okay. At the very least without stickers. Or clip art, rather. Oh, you were talking about the gate. It's fine. Should be able to defend over here just fine. And he'll also be getting to the castle age very, very soon. He's gonna be able to deny this siege workshop though. Viper's going for crossbowman, so now he should be able to take on the skirmishers. There you go. Yeah, and JorDan's getting pushed away. Monastery coming out, so Viper's trying to get his smush coming up. Well, what is JorDan going to go for? Does not have any stone anymore. So... Defensive Siege Workshop. No extra TCs. He's not gonna be playing for economy over here. Alright. That's pretty interesting. The Viper is definitely in the driver's seat right now. We'll see what he does. I don't think JorDan's got much of a chance over here. Knights? Yeah, Knights would work really well. At the very least until the Viper starts adding, like, you know, a good amount of monks. Yeah, but that would be only if JorDan already had like 2 stables already up when getting to the castle age. Like this, it feels like it's too late. If you're gonna start thinking about going for Knights when your opponent already's got monk production going, it's a little bit too late, you know? There you are. Yeah, and it seems like Viper is still gonna keep on putting pressure up with the Magnet coming out. It's gonna be taking on the TC very soon. Without any extra TCs, then JorDan's gonna need to successfully defend against the upcoming push from the Viper. Otherwise... it's going to get knocked out of the game in the next 2 minutes or so. Really good job from the Viper as well. He roams around with the mana a little bit to see if he can find any exposed villagers, but yeah, now he's going after the TC. He's got a beautiful little hill over here to work with as well, so if he goes for another mana mill, he could potentially take this one down so fast. Meanwhile, we'll see a second TC finally coming out for JorDan on the right hand side, and the Viper, well, the Viper's got the second TC already up. He said 100 stone for it. Now JorDan's buying 100 extra stone, so it seems like he's gonna be thinking of going for a third TC. Where though? Here is gonna be securing the gold over there on the back, probably around here, close to the wood. Maybe. There you are. Yeah, and the TC should be going down for sure. Both mana's on the hill over here. Really good job from JorDan over there. Oh, that's what I'm talking about! 1 for 1 and he keeps the pressure going. Very, very good job. Just splitting the army up so that he could keep up on the siege workshop over here. Now, JorDan on the other hand is going for a counter raid. He's got skirmishers to play with only though. It's gonna be able to get villagers down? Well, most likely. I mean, with skirmishers alone, these in the castle age with Balkan arrow are still gonna be doing as much damage as archers in the field age with fletching. So if he comes in, he should be able to one-shot these villages pretty consistently. Let's see if the Viper realizes about this though. He does. Yeah, and JorDan cannot take a single villager down. That's pretty bad. Without ballistics, these guys are not really going to be that effective anyway. Let's see. Good pressure. The Viper's got crossbow over here as well. Mangonel dancing around too, while trying to micro the skirmishers forward. Good job. Yeah, it's gonna keep on roaming around. Without ballistics though, I think it's unlikely he'll be able to get a single villager from the Viper. Meanwhile, the Viper on the other hand's got already enough gold to go up to the Imperial Age. He's got the buildings. And he's getting very, very close from having enough food to go up as well. One for one, alright. JorDan's still alive for the most part. Good shot though from the Viper. Played. Yeah, and it doesn't seem like JorDan will be able to do much of anything with those skirmishers, especially as now Viper's going for a few knights. Well, those knights will keep the Viper in the Castle Age though, because it was getting very close from going up to the Imperial Age already. And yeah, imagine in the Imperial Age with access to bombard cannons, with access to bracer, arbalister, right? What are you going to do if you're in JorDan's position? Probably not much. Scale bar and armor coming in, alright. JorDan's gonna start thinking about going for Cavalier by the looks of it. Let's take a look. We have one stable only. Good job. And there we go. It's gonna be going after the TC again. Well, JorDan's been able to defend himself really well. 1 for 0 in favor of the Viper over here. Yeah, he's been able to keep the TC up for the most part. It's been a struggle for the Viper to get past the TC over here, but now when the Knight's coming in. And you know what the worst part about this is that JorDan actually prompted the Knights from the Viper, because the Viper was probably not going to go for Knights himself until he saw the raid from skirmishes with JorDan. So JorDan's raid over here was the beginning of his own demise, and now with the Knights over here as well, you know, he can keep on putting pressure up. He's been able to get the mountains down. Viper's going up to the Imperial Age right now, and that DC from JorDan might crumble anytime now as well. There we go. Good job. Good job. There we go. TC, it seems like it's finally going to go down. Only one mana left over here, but still some good pressure. Meanwhile, JorDan's finally going for Cavalier. He's gonna try to start getting the numbers up. Problem is, by the time he gets the Cavalier upgrade, the Viper's already gonna be in the Imperial Age. So Bracer's gonna be on the way. You know, we have a good amount of camels over here from the Viper as well. Yeah, and JorDan just laughs at this. But he should be able to take the mantle down anyway. Yeah, there we go. Have to check if your name was doubt. Oh boy. GG, as soon as Viper hits him, I think he's gonna try to take the engagement. When the Viper hits him, he's gonna go forward and try to take the engagement, but that's the last chance he's got. The problem is, he doesn't really have a whole lot of knights over here to work with. So against the camels over here, he doesn't really stand a chance. Once he gets Cavalier, then that's a little bit better. Let's see. Is he going for it? But he still needs more numbers, because we still have monks over here the Viper's gonna use to convert the units from JorDan. So here he comes. The big engagement is about to take place. That's a lot of crossbows though from the Viper still over here. Plus the Mangonel defending against the skirmishes, and JorDan cannot take the engagement at all. He's only now gone for Forging. That's already 13 attack of these guys though, so these are super strong. But the heavy camo is gonna be here in about 40 seconds, so there we go. Viper's trying to force the engagement. The conversions are coming up over here. He's gonna be targeting 3 different Cavaliers. He's gonna be getting 1, 2 Cavaliers so far, and that's gonna be GG before we even see the conversions taking place. Viper 3-1 against JorDan after game number 4. Puts himself 1 step away from making it into the grand finals, while JorDan, pretty similar situation to what we saw last time around, is going to have to take 3 games back to back to make it into the grand finals himself. Let's go and take a look at the achievements then before hopping out. We get a better than 2-to-1 kill ratio for the Vipers. Gonna be pretty good for him. For Army High on the other hand, we also get, there we go, 41-24. While for economy, well, we have, what is this? About 3,000 extra resources for the Viper. Yeah, and just working so well overall. Much stronger economy. Villager max was a little bit higher for JorDan, but of course Viper had gone to the Imperial Age, so there was a lot of DC research time over there. And finally for APM, we have a higher APM for JorDan overall, but didn't matter. Well, not quite as much. Actually, higher eco APM. Total APM is, you know, about the same for both. So never mind. Camels alone win that? Camels alone, I don't think they would have won that because they don't get bloodlines. And we had 13 attack on JorDan's Cavalier, but with the monks over there, the crossbows, the mana, like everything, there was no chance. Anyway, if there were only camels over there, I still think JorDan would have won, but he would have been left with probably like 2 or 3 knights only, so he was not going to be able to do anything anyway. So, in the sense that Viper wins the game with camels alone, yeah, I think so. But guys, let's update the draft over here. Byzantines taking the game. We're gonna have Burgundians over here going down. And that leaves us on 4 civilizations for each player. The Vipers got still Sicilians to play with. It's got Lithuanians still to play with. Lithuanians, I think, are a higher than 50% win rate civilization. Then he's got Huns and Japanese. JorDan, on the other hand, has got Tatars, he's got Vikings. Both these civilizations surprisingly lackluster. Vikings specifically, I think they have a win rate of like a 37%, 38%, something like that. And then he's got Berbers and Mongols. Yeah, these are not the strongest civilizations for JorDan, unfortunately. He's already used Indians and he won with it, but if he's got to win 3 games back to back and he's got these civilizations left, I'm not feeling too confident for him. I think probably Tatars are the way to go for him right now. It's kind of tricky though, because we could see Sicilians, we could see potentially Japanese. So what does he go for then? Vikings? I guess Vikings could make sense. JorDan can make it work before we get to very late into the game. I guess it could potentially work out. Numbers were on Viper side on that engagement? Yeah, total for sure. Let's see. As for the predictions, let me pay those off. Oh, actually, I hadn't started predictions for game number 4. My bad. I was probably just too much in a hurry. But yeah, game number 5 should be here. So let's go for it. We don't have any spec delay anymore. Well, let's see. There we are. It's gonna be Sicilians versus Vikings. Yeah. There we go. Welcome you guys then to game number 5. Already match point, of course. And wait a moment. We are catching up right now to live gameplay. It's 2 minutes and 25 seconds, but JorDan's already going for a lame over here. Yeah, it's gonna try to equalize. Good idea that I forgot. I would have lost my points. Let's see. Good job. Yeah, let's open predictions then up for game number 5. Who wins game number 5? You have 5 minutes, guys, to guess. Already pretty strong start over here for JorDan. Let's see, the Viper's going for the counter raid, or for the counter lane rather. But yeah, while we wait and take a look at Viper's unit over here, let's talk about the civilization bonuses. Starting with JorDan, we are going to get for Vikings first off. Free wheelbarrow and free handcart, which is going to be the bulk of their bonuses, right? Like, it's going to be the most important thing for them. On top of that, we also have 20% extra HP on infantry units starting in the fuel age onwards, while the rest of the bonuses are for water maps. Meanwhile, Sicilians on the other hand, well, we have talked about Sicilians in the previous series. We get 100 extra stone upon starting the game. We get dungeons as opposed to towers. We get also only 50% the bonus damage on land units against enemy units. You know, they absorb 50% of the bonus damage, except for siege weapons, and they also have 100% faster build in TCs and castles, as well as 100% extra food on farm upgrades. On farms per farm upgrade, as opposed to your standard amount of food now for the team bonus. That's actually going to be for water maps as well for the Viper civilization. So, let's see. Really, really good job from the Viper over here. He's just trying to, okay, he's going to go for it. No, he's not going for it. He's going! He's going for it! Will JorDan be able to prevent this though? Let's see. Okay, he's trying to prevent it. And at the same time, he's trying to target the Viper, but they are so close, man. They are so close, it's very unlikely the Viper is going to end up. It's going to end up losing the... Yeah. The lane over here. Good job. In the end, it's going to be 2 elephants for each player. So the equalizer over there that JorDan was certainly hoping for. Not really work out. Let's go and take a look at the map generation, since we have already introduced civilizations, and both players are thinking of going out to the fuel age already. We have for JorDan the first goal, the main goal on the right hand side up north. We have also the secondary goals on the left hand side, both these, and the main stones on the left hand side, secondary stones on the right hand side. While if we take a look at the wall out potential, if he just gets the walls from here to here as well, he should be able to defend himself, just that the goal is going to be kind of exposed. By getting the barracks up over here, it seems to me like he's going to try to go for the walls like this. I think he kind of has to go for it though. Yeah, for sure. Ideally, I would definitely like for him to try and get this up here. Right? The walls like this, so that he can at the very least secure this wool line. And then he can just go for the walls like from here to here, right? And secure himself like that, without having to connect to this wool line on the left hand side. Taking a look at the map generation for the Viper, on the other hand, let's see if he's got the map hacks this time around. He's got the main goal forward. He's got the secondary goals, one up north and the other one to the right hand side. While the main stones in the back, secondary stones forward. Then we have berries on the right hand side, on the back as well. And then he's got the wool lines over here to work with as well. I think if he goes for walls, very similar to what we would see from JorDan, he wouldn't be able to secure the wool line though. He would have to go for walls around the wool over here, which I don't think Viper's going to go for. I don't think it's quite as straightforward compared to what JorDan could potentially go for. So yeah. Militia's coming out for JorDan already. It's going to be Men-at-Arms Archers for him, because of course he's playing Vikings. Meanwhile, the Viper on the other hand, the Viper is not making a... Okay, now he's making a switch to gold. And it seems like he's just going to go for straight archers. So yeah. They are so close. They are super close, indeed. Let's see if these units can't do any damage. Is this good for any of them? I am liking this a little bit better for JorDan, because the longer the game goes, which is, you know, more likely to happen when they are too far apart, the better it's going to be for Sicilians. JorDan's gotta take advantage of like the Castle Age, or up until early Imp. If he does not take advantage of it, then Sicilians are going to be getting ahead. There we go, Archer's coming out for the Viper, and JorDan cannot do much of anything. He's got this, yeah, the militia still roaming around. Stable on the way for JorDan. Interesting, so it's going to be going for Archers and Scouts. This is pretty good. Archers and Scouts, so you might have heard me say a few, you might have heard me say a few times before. In my opinion, probably the strongest army composition in the Fuel Age. It's very pricey, of course, but if we can get away with it, it can be so deadly. Good unit control, and there's so little that your opponent can do to counter you, except going for their own, you know, Scouts and Archers. There we go, JorDan's got Scouts coming out, it's got Archers on the way as well. Very tidy economy for the most part. It's got almost no resources. Which is good. I mean, he keeps on spending everything. Viper on the other hand is getting a little bit too much food right now. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, Blacksmith's coming up as well for fletching. So far, JorDan's been able to get one archer down, and he's not really taking any losses just yet. 2-0 KD now in favor of JorDan with the second archer going down. That's pretty good. Once again, archers and scouts, super strong. So the Viper is going to be under pressure until he can react to this. He's got some skirmishers coming out, but that's not going to cut it, not with the scouts. Yeah, and that's going to be actually 3-0 KD in favor of JorDan. Very strong start over here. Now, mind you, we do have wheelbarrow for JorDan, but he's got a little bit of extra idle TC time compared to the Viper. So the villager count is going to be barely Wait, what? This doesn't make any sense. How is the villager count actually only 2 higher for JorDan when he's got so much idle TC time over here, despite going for wheelbarrow? Oh my god, I'm so stupid. He's Vikings. Never mind. It's the idle TC time that's keeping him behind in villager count. Yeah, Viper's gonna be catching up as soon as he gets the upgrade. For a moment, I completely forgot about the civilization. I was like, what? How? God. Second archer range for the Viper. Well, JorDan's still with a stronger army composition for sure. He's got 7 scouts, 7 archers right now. What does the Viper do against this? Probably not too much. You know, JorDan plays his cards right, and he can take on the spearmen just fine with archers. And he's taking on these archers and skirmishers with the scouts as well. He's gotta be careful though. Let's see, he's taking the spearmen down. He takes both spearmen down. There's going to be no spearmen left over here anymore for the Viper. And he's going after the skirmishers, pushing the villagers away from gold. And all of a sudden, JorDan's looking in a commanding position right now. Much better compared to before. And even though he might be getting pushed away over here, we see more scouts coming out going forward. And more archers coming out. With the second archer range coming up as well, he's going to increase production. He's going to double his production of archers. You know, the Viper on the other hand is going to be sticking to only archers and skirmishers. And he'll try to make this one work. Well, it's going to be hard, especially as he won't be able to keep on going for archers without access to gold anymore. He's going to make a dungeon over here so he can protect this gold at the very least. But you know what we always say about preempted towers or preempted dungeons over here? Like, we could very well see JorDan come forward and go for like a tower around here that's just going to stay too far away for the dungeon to target anyway. And he would still be able to deny the gold, so... Good job.
Win.
There we go. JorDan's roaming around. It's going back home. Meanwhile, the Viper has started to put some pressure right now. Interestingly enough, JorDan's economy is actually a little bit stronger than the Viper. He's got more food. And his eco balance is pretty good because he's gonna be getting enough food, enough gold to go up to the castle age very shortly, while the Viper is probably gonna need to balance his economy with the market, especially after having gone for the dungeon. Yeah, it's probably going to end up selling the stone, I think. Will he though? No, he won't. Okay, good job. Viper seems like he's gonna be able to go up, and JorDan should be clicking up right now, or very shortly. There we go. JorDan's gotta go up. He's microing. Castle Age is on the way, and Viper's gonna be on his way up very shortly as well. There we go. We have a very small lead for JorDan of about 8 seconds compared to the Viper. But once again, I think I'm liking his army composition a little bit better. If he can keep these scouts alive, if he can go for a few extra archers, and then he goes for light cavalry and crossmen, I feel like this is going to be pretty good for JorDan. Remember as well, the Castle Age will be a pretty turning point, like a pretty big turning point for JorDan. After getting free handguard, his economy is going to be so much stronger compared to the Viper. Because right now we got a very comparable amount of idle TC time for both players. JorDan's still, you know, on the same villager count compared to the Viper. But once the Viper goes for wheelbarrow, he's gonna be falling behind by about 3 villagers. Once he goes for handguard, it's gonna be falling behind even further. So what do we do over here? I think JorDan's gotta go for it. He's going for more skirmishers instead, which I'm not too sure about. But yeah, I probably would have preferred for him to keep on going for crossos and then go for knights. And yeah, I know, Viking knights, but... Or light cavalry, rather. But he just needs a meat shield for the crossos to work out of, and then he can go forward, get a siege workshop out, and try to keep the pressure going like that. This economy is going to be much stronger anyway, so yeah. Could potentially even go up to the Imperial Age significantly faster and get access to our ballistas, which are going to be so much better. The Viper, on the other hand, with Sicilians, is obviously going to prefer to play this one for the long game. So I wouldn't be surprised to see extra TCs coming up for the Viper. He's got a siege workshop coming up first, but he's going to be able to go for a TC very, very shortly. Where's he going to place it? Probably over here in between the goal and the wood line. Or over here in between the wall. Yeah, the goal and the wood line. There we go. Because I'm gonna upgrades here already. And elite skirmishers coming up for JorDan. How silly are Sicilians? Sicilians are pretty good. Go figure. Like, I don't think anybody would have given 2 cents to them before the tournament started, because they have actually been performing much better than anybody would anticipate, I guess. But still, it's not broken by any means. I think Sicilians right now, they have a win rate of less than 50% even, but that's also the case for many other civilizations. There we go. Defensive Manual coming out for JorDan, for the Viper right now. In JorDan, on the other hand, he's not going for extra TCs. He's got instead ballistics already. He's going for leather arch armor. So just gonna be sticking to full military pressure over here. Now the problem is he doesn't really have a whole lot of pressure right now. Only 1 man coming forward, and the siege workshop so far back that it's gonna take forever for him to get forward. Meanwhile, his units, well, keeps on roaming around. Let's see the Vipers getting the university up. Might be able to get a villager or 2 down with this, but now the Viper knows, so he should be able to protect the villagers over here just fine. Two manas for the Viper as well. This can be deadly though. If he gets a good shot with both those manas, this can be a GG very, very shortly. If JorDan isn't careful with his units. Second TC coming up for JorDan though, so it doesn't seem like he's gonna give up on just these units. It seems like he's gonna be going for some eco right now as well. But yeah, Viper already has wheelbarrow and he's been getting ahead in villager count compared to JorDan, so doesn't seem like the eco advantage for JorDan is going to stay here for too long unless he just tries to go up to the Imperial Age faster maybe. But take a look at the resources from the Viper. How on earth is he able to get this incredible economy while going for extra TCs? He's getting the 3rd TC up right now as well, so is JorDan. And it seems like the Viper's going to beat Vikings to the Imperial Age. This is really remarkable. Overall KD is better for the Viper, yeah, for sure. But only by 4 units. Wow. No way, the Viper's going up to the Imperial Age very soon. Meanwhile, JorDan's been unable to get any pressure going over here. Alright. Meanwhile, the man is over here from JorDan. He's taking so long to get any pressure going. Yeah, and both players are going to be on the Imperial Age, are going to be on their way to the Imperial Age very, very shortly. Although Viper on a much higher villager count anyway. JorDan's using the market. There we go. Handcard coming in for the Viper right now as well. Wait a moment, what? He's killed 6 villagers. He had almost enough resources to go up to the Imperial Age at the same time as JorDan. And now he's killed a bunch of villagers. He's gonna be so much later to the Imperial Age. Okay. Well, this could be pretty good for JorDan. What is he going for though? He's going for some archers right now, crosses, right? And he's going for a 3rd archer range. This is pretty good, not gonna lie. For JorDan anyway. I'm not really sure what happened to the Viper over there. I think he just preferred to stick to the castle age. Let's take a look at the amount of total resources collected for both players. Significantly higher for JorDan. That might be why the Viper did not want to go for it. It's going to be in a much smaller economy compared to JorDan. Although, to be fair, with 14 extra villagers, he should be able to catch up fairly, you know, soon. So I don't think that was necessarily going to be too bad for the Viper. But yeah, JorDan will be there significantly sooner. He's only 1 minute away from the Imperial Age, while the Viper has not clicked up just yet. And by the looks of it, we're going to see Arbalists coming in from JorDan. He's making a heavy switch to stone as well with 8 stone miners. He's going to be thinking of dropping a castle forward as well. And if he can go for it, he's going to have a fantastic stepping stone around which to keep the pressure going forward in front of Viper's base. However, Viper's already going for a preemptive castle over here. That's pretty good. It's going to be in between, yeah, both these TCs, in between the gold and the stone, which is pretty good. And yeah, he's got the 4th TC already up. I don't know if the Viper will wait for the 50C to go for First Crusade, or if he's going to go for it regardless, but he's very close to the Imperial Age himself as well, or from clicking up to the Imperial Age anyway. Meanwhile, JorDan's got him there already. Yeah, and that's what prompted the Viper to try and go up ASAP. Good job. Well played. Yeah, there we are. Arbalesters here ready for JorDan. But where is the pressure, man? Where's the pressure? He still does not have enough to go for a castle. And he's just been, you know, roaming around home. Meanwhile, the Viper, on the other hand, by the time JorDan manages to get the Arbalesters in front of Viper's base, you know, Viper's 50C is gonna be up already. And we're gonna see First Crusade coming up. That's gonna be so good. Viper's gonna be going out to 35 sergeants all of a sudden. So yeah. There you go. 50C is already out for the Viper. I think he's probably gonna try and wait until he gets to the Imperial Age to go for Elite Sergeants and then go for First Crusade, maybe? We'll see. Good job. Yeah. It seems like JorDan's pressure over here is coming in way too late. He's got no protection for the ramps either, so... Man, he's losing Arbalesters to the castle. This is looking really good for the Viper. Finally, we see a castle coming up for JorDan, but... He's going for capped ram after losing the ramps. He's got no ramps left, and he's still going for it. And, well, now he's going to have a castle come up, but... The Viper's already in the Imperial Age, so he can start going for trebuchets right away. He's got 2 castles to produce trebuchets from as well, and I think he knows about the castle coming up over here. Yeah, he knows about the castle coming up, so no problem. Do you feel attracted to sergeants? Yes, very much so. Third castle coming forward for the Viper. Don't we all? Don't you? There we go. Trisha is already out for the Viper. And JorDan's getting the castle up just in time. Did he know? Did he know about this? He didn't know about it. That was just kind of like a lucky guess, I guess, for him, but pretty good. Love those helmets. Yeah, you see, I'm not the only one. Yeah, and JorDan's laughing at this. Because the Viper gets the castle up faster because of his playing Sicilians, of course. That is just ridiculous speed. Build speed for the castle, anyway. And, well, JorDan was not microing the units over here whatsoever. I'm not really sure if he's given up on this because what is going on over there? He ended up losing over 50% of his army. Yeah, make that actually close to 100% of his army, and he was just laughing in the chat, so I'm not really sure if he's given up on it already or what. He does have a trebuchet up on the right hand side though, and the Viper's gotten the first trebuchet out for such a long time, but he's forgotten to target the castle. So yeah. Darts? No, just trebuchets. Okay. Second castle coming out for the Viper as well. If he gets the trebuchet out then, JorDan should be able to take this castle down a little bit faster because he's got the hail over here. He's got cap rams coming in right now, so actually the cap ram upgrade paying dividends for a change. Yeah, and there we go. JorDan should be able to take this castle down, no problem. He'll most likely end up losing his own castle anyway though, won't he? I think he will. This castle's going down right now. JorDan ended up losing a trebuchet over here, I think. No. He was just unpacking the second treb, and there we go. Castle's down. The trebuchet could potentially go down as well. Viper's still on 2 castles over here on the left-hand side, plus the third one he's got back home. Meanwhile, JorDan's going for the third castle over here, but he might end up losing this one. We'll see. Currently, looking a little bit better for JorDan. If he can get the castle down and repair this one on time, he might be able to keep it up, but he sent the villagers away, so now he cannot go back on time, and the castle's going down. So we'll play, and the Viper's going to take this one down. That's going to leave us on, I think, 2 castles for each player, right? Because, yeah, Viper's got this one, he's got this one, and then JorDan's got this one, and he's got this one. Hey, there we go! Viper went for all these sergeants, and now he's got the first crusade as well, so he's coming forward with the sergeants. And this is so strong! Remember, these units are very, very good. He's got plate mail armor already, so that's 8 pierce armor. These guys are going to be as freaking tanky as Castle Age Huskars, which is just remarkable, of course, and they're gonna be taking almost no damage from anyone, and JorDan's population all of a sudden crumbling to less than 110, and he says, GG, really well played, bro, take it home, as JorDan calls it GG, and the Viper moves on to the semi-final. We know now who the 2 finalists will be tomorrow, and JorDan, with nothing but the best wishes for the Viper over here, is gonna be wholesomely just getting out of the way and letting the Viper move on. So we'll play it 4-1 in favor of the Viper. Let's go and take a look at the achievements then. And what do we get over here? For military, a much stronger KD for the Viper with better than 3-to-2 KD ratio. For economy, on the other hand, we also have a stronger economy for the Viper, collecting about 5,000 extra resources against Vikings. Technology, on the other hand, well, we have a castle imperialist stance for JorDan over here, and for society, a much larger amount of villagers for the Viper at the end of the game.